Well, my first guest says that this should be another good year for the stock market. Let's bring in now Strategy Asset Management Manager, CEO, Thomas Hulick. All right, Thomas, let's go over, first of all, what are you looking for this year? About a 10% move?
We think 10% is fair, safe. Okay. We're very positive about 2026. I think the setup is very constructive. A lot of tailwinds that we're leaning into, and we think 2026 is going to be very positive.
The constructive setup, walk us through this.
Well, you take a look at interest rates coming down for one. Inflation is stable around 3%. You don't want to fight the Trump trade that's out there. Building infrastructure and more money coming into the United States, we're set up very nicely for 2026.
You also like the global growth, the way the globe is looking as well.
I do. You can obviously see the market broadening out right now. We think that Europe is a safe place to start investing, and then take a look at what's happening overseas in Venezuela right now. Although it's a very small portion of it, it's a national security interest that shows that the United States is very serious about keeping the global expansion going.
You know, there was a document released late last year I don't think people paid enough attention to, right? In the intermingling of economics with national security, national defense, I think is something investors are going to have to get used to because it plays a critical role with this administration. I also love what you said, policy over politics. Explain that.
Right. For the last several years, our chief portfolio manager, chief investment officer, Joe Traba, and I have been talking about it's the policy, not the politics. And it's important to see whatever administration comes in, especially the Trump administration, it's pro-growth. We want to see it pro-growth. We think that with all the money coming back in the United States again, the build-out of the infrastructure trade and a pro-energy policy, but national security is prominent right now, and we need to make sure that the United States is safe and all of our allies are safe.
Potential upside surprises, consumer spending. Now, we know a few things. We know there's going to be the largest tax refund in history.
Yes.
Goldman says every quartile of wages will go higher. Unfortunately, except that the lower quintile would be the less, but still, real wage gains. We see that as well. And so you say, yeah, consumer spending, that could be one of the positives here.
Sure. Yeah, these are all what ifs that we take a look at as a portfolio manager.
Right.
We actively manage the portfolios, but if the consumer remains strong in 2026, which we think it will, you're getting tax breaks.
And it's more than just the 10% driving all the spending.
Correct.
Right.
We think that if interest rates continue to come down, that'll help ease kind of the spending out there for the people that are heavily debt laden. But if you're in a K-shaped economy and only the rich get richer, right, and the poor stay the same, that's not good. We've got to balance that out somehow, and we think that the Trump tax abatement will help that out.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that happening as well. Healthcare sector. This is interesting because I would say in the last quarter of last year, a majority of my guests said healthcare. Feels like Wall Street is really putting a lot of hopes in healthcare. Why do you like it?
One, I think that we're on a next decade of a bull market in the healthcare sector. It could be from the advancements that you see in biotechnology and pharmaceutical. Two, you could also see a combination of insurance rates coming down. But I think the healthcare sector is something to watch, and there's specific names that you can get into there.
IPO revival. This could arguably be the biggest year for IPOs, at least on a dollar basis. SpaceX alone, right? But you add a few more. Now, you think that will add a sort of kind of energy that energizes the entire market?
I think that the M&A market is starting to heat up, and the IPO market will definitely be sending a signal,
right,
for 2026. SpaceX coming out. I mean, that's a very, very popular underwriting right now, and I think it's going to be a winner.
It's going to be it will be the biggest IPO in history without a doubt. All right, let's talk about how to benefit from all of this. Let's go back to energy. You have a couple of energy ideas here. Cameco is one, and this is a name that sort of was plateauing, but it's coming on very, very strong. I put in this one rate of change sometimes so folks at home could see that the rate of change, when it changes like this, there's an urgency to own the stock. Why do you like it?
Right. So Cameco, you got to think uranium and nuclear. And they also took over Westinghouse in a bankruptcy. When you think nuclear and you think the expansion of building reactors, you think Cameco,
right,
and I think clean energy, this is the way to go.
You also like Chevron, I think for the obvious reasons. They were the only American company not to leave Venezuela. That was that huge gap up. We pulled back a little bit, filled the gap. We got a minute to go. So the other two I want to hit, particularly Lockheed Martin.
Right.
And this kind of gets to keeping the world safe kind of thing. Again, I don't know what happened about a year ago. The stock kind of got hammered, but again, we see it really taking off recently as the Trump doctrine really takes place, unfolds even more?
Well, I think security is the most important thing for the U.S., and security is defense. It's also cybersecurity. But take a look at Lockheed Martin and the importance of Lockheed leading the way for us in the F-35 fighter. I mean, I've got my stealth pin on. I met two of the ground crew at the Tournament of Roses parade a couple days ago. I'm proudly wearing it today. So I think
that's pretty cool. You should have brought me one. All right, before we go, you got to do Palantir. Sure. I love Palantir. I'm a huge fan of Alex Karp. And again, this is another stock that just has come on really nicely. We're going to bring up the chart here in a second. Look at this. It plateaued a little bit. You had the Burry short and all these other things going on. But in the last couple of weeks, it's really come on. And I think, to your point, there's so many different parts of defense. It's not just the old, not just the jet planes anymore.
Right. So you think Palantir, cybersecurity, but you also think software. Alex Karp is really leading the way with keeping America safe, not only in the public and the private sector. This is a company that we invested early on in a private placement, but right now I think Palantir is something you want to own going in the future, because keeping America safe with cyber, as well as our Defense Department as well.
And the secret here now is their commercial business is coming on like gangbusters.
Sure it is.
Great stuff, my man.
Happy New Year,
Great to
Charles.
see you here in your hometown.
Thank you very much.
All right, Tom, appreciate it.